Have you ever felt lost in a sea of sadness and depression, not knowing how to find a way out? The darkness can seem overwhelming, but there are powerful strategies that can help us navigate these difficult moments. Today, let's explore how the art of self-reflection can be a transformative tool for overcoming sadness and depression. Number 1. Negative visualization. Sadness and depression are deep shadows that can envelop our mind and spirit. However, there is an ancient strategy, a beacon of wisdom that can guide us through the darkness. Negative visualization. This is an exercise that helps us confront our fears and anxieties, allowing us to find strength and resilience even in the darkest moments. Negative visualization involves deliberately imagining the worst possible scenarios. Think about the things you most fear losing: your health, your loved ones, your possessions, your own life. This practice may seem counterintuitive, but it is deeply rooted in Stoic wisdom. By confronting these dark thoughts, you begin to appreciate what you have in a deeper and more meaningful way. Epictetus teaches us, "What scares us is not things, but our opinion about them." By practicing negative visualization, you desensitize your mind to the fears that plague it. By imagining loss, you mentally prepare for it, becoming more resilient and less susceptible to emotional impact when and if these events actually occur. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, wrote, "Receive without arrogance, lose without despair." This practice of accepting both good and bad with equanimity is the essence of negative visualization. By imagining loss and adversity, you train your mind to receive difficulties with calm and serene acceptance, avoiding the despair that can accompany depression. Negative visualization is not an exercise in pessimism but in preparation. It teaches us to value more deeply what we have and to recognize the impermanence of life. This practice creates a sense of gratitude because by imagining loss, we realize the preciousness of the present moment. Each day, each moment becomes a gift, something to be fully appreciated. Seneca reminds us, "Sometimes even to live is an act of courage." Negative visualization gives us the courage to live fully despite the inevitable challenges and losses that life brings. By accepting the possibility of adversity, we free ourselves from paralyzing fear and gain the courage to face the unknown. In moments of sadness and depression, negative visualization may seem like an invitation to suffering. However, it is quite the opposite. By imagining the worst, you disarm the anxiety and anguish that these thoughts can cause. The mind becomes stronger, more prepared to deal with reality, no matter how difficult it may be. Practicing negative visualization regularly strengthens our emotional resilience. Imagine, for example, losing a loved one. Feel the anticipated pain of that loss. Let yourself be enveloped by it. Then, return to the present and realize that this person is still by your side. The gratitude that emerges from this practice is powerful and healing. This exercise also reminds us of the impermanence of all things. Sadness and depression can make us feel that the darkness is eternal, but negative visualization shows us that everything is transient. Just as good things can be lost, bad things also pass. This understanding brings a sense of peace and acceptance, a light that pierces the darkness of depression. By incorporating negative visualization into your daily life, you build an internal fortress against adversity. The mind becomes a powerful ally, capable of facing any storm with serenity and strength. This practice is a constant reminder that true strength comes from within, and that resilience is cultivated through acceptance and preparation. Number 2. Detachment from possessions. At the core of sadness and depression often lies a deep attachment to material possessions. We live in a world where the accumulation of goods is mistakenly seen as synonymous with happiness and success. However, ancient philosophers teach us that true peace and joy come from detachment from possessions. Detachment is not disdain, but a liberation from the chains that bind us to the material world. Epictetus reminds us, "Desire nothing that cannot be easily replaced." This teaching invites us to reflect on the real value of the things we possess. Ask yourself, what do I really need to be happy? Do these possessions define my identity and worth? By confronting these questions, we realize that most of our anxieties are rooted in an excessive attachment to goods that are ultimately ephemeral. The practice of detachment begins with the understanding that nothing in the material world is permanent. Everything we possess can be lost in an instant. This reality, although difficult to accept, is an inescapable truth of human existence. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, wrote, "Everything we see is a constant change and nothing more." This recognition frees us from the fear of loss because we understand that change is the only constant. Detaching from possessions does not mean living in poverty but valuing what is truly important. Genuine happiness does not come from the things we own, but from experiences, relationships, and inner growth. By focusing on what really matters, we free our minds from the anxiety caused by the fear of losing what we possess. Imagine yourself as a traveler with a light backpack. Every unnecessary item you carry is an extra weight that makes your journey harder. Discarding the superfluous not only makes the journey easier but also more enjoyable. Detachment from possessions is like emptying that backpack, keeping only the essentials for a full and meaningful life. Seneca teaches us, "Wealth is slavery, if things cannot be properly used." By detaching from possessions, you take control of your life, instead of being controlled by it. True freedom lies in not being possessed by your possessions. This freedom gives us the strength to face sadness and depression with a clear mind and a light heart. In moments of sadness, the practice of detachment offers us a renewed perspective. Ask yourself, do these things I own really add value to my life? Do they contribute to my lasting happiness? By answering honestly, we often discover that our possessions are mere substitutes for a void they cannot fill. The practice of detachment also teaches us to be more generous and compassionate. By realizing that we do not need so many things to be happy, we become more willing to share with others. This generosity not only benefits those around us but also enriches our own lives, bringing a sense of purpose and connection that surpasses any material good. By detaching from possessions, we cultivate a calmer mind and a more serene soul. Anxiety and depression often feed on the fear of loss. When we accept that everything is transient and that our happiness does not depend on things, we find lasting peace. This peace strengthens us to face life's challenges with courage and resilience. Remember the words of Epictetus, "Who is rich? He who is content." True wealth is a state of mind, not a collection of material goods. By detaching from possessions, you discover the wealth you already possess within yourself. This discovery is a source of joy and satisfaction that no possession can replace. Number 3. Purpose and meaning. At the core of sadness and depression, we often find a void of purpose and meaning. Without a clear direction, life can seem devoid of direction, shrouded in suffocating darkness. Ancient philosophers knew that the key to transcending these shadows lies in finding and cultivating a deep and meaningful purpose. Epictetus reminds us, "We do not choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." This power of choice is central to the search for purpose. Ask yourself, what is the reason I live? What gives meaning to my existence? Finding answers to these questions is a path to filling the void and illuminating the darkness. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. When our thoughts are aligned with a greater purpose, they have the power to transform our reality. A clear and meaningful purpose offers an anchor, a beacon that guides us through emotional storms. It is this purpose that gives us the strength to rise every day, even when everything seems lost." The search for purpose is not an external journey, but an internal exploration. Look within yourself and ask, what moves me? What awakens my passion and compassion? The answers to these questions are the seeds of your purpose. Cultivate them carefully, nurturing them with your daily actions and intentions. Purpose is not a destination to be reached, but a path to be constantly traveled. Seneca teaches us, "Life, if well lived, is long enough." This wisdom reminds us that it is not the length of our existence that matters, but the intensity and meaning we give to it. By finding a purpose, We transform every moment into an opportunity to live fully. Sadness and depression lose their grip when our actions are driven by a greater meaning. Purpose also connects us to others. Humanity is intrinsically social, and a purpose often involves serving something greater than ourselves. Ask yourself, how can I contribute to the well-being of others? How can I leave a positive impact on the world? This sense of connection and contribution gives life deep and lasting meaning. In moments of profound sadness, remember Epictetus's words, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react that matters." Reacting with purpose is transforming adversity into an opportunity for growth and resilience. Purpose gives us a reason to continue, even when the journey is difficult and the path is dark. The practice of finding meaning in small things is also essential. The beauty of life often hides in the simplest details: a gesture of kindness, a moment of silence, the contemplation of nature. By valuing these small manifestations of meaning, we strengthen our purpose and find joy in the humblest things. Marcus Aurelius advises us, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." This privilege is the foundation of purpose. Each new day is an opportunity to live with intention and meaning, to align our actions with our deepest values. Sadness and depression can make us feel isolated and disconnected. However, purpose reminds us of our connection to the whole. Finding and living a purpose unites us to something greater than ourselves, gives us a sense of belonging and meaning. This feeling of unity and direction is a powerful antidote to despair. Number 4. Strengthening virtues. At the heart of sadness and depression, we often find a disconnection from our essential virtues. Virtues are the pillars that uphold our humanity, giving us strength and direction. To overcome emotional darkness, we must strengthen these virtues, allowing them to illuminate our path and guide us to serenity and inner peace. Epictetus reminds us, "Do not seek to have events happen as you wish, but wish them to happen as they do happen, and your life will go smoothly." This acceptance of reality is a fundamental virtue known as wisdom. Wisdom teaches us to understand and accept the world as it is, rather than as we wish it to be. Strengthening this virtue helps us find peace amidst life's storms, accepting circumstances with equanimity and clarity. Courage is another essential virtue for facing sadness and depression. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Courage allows us to face our fears and anxieties with resolute determination. It is courage that drives us to act even when despair tries to paralyze us. Strengthening courage means confronting our challenges head-on, knowing that true strength resides within us. The virtue of justice is equally important. It guides us to act with integrity and righteousness, treating ourselves and others with respect and dignity. In moments of sadness, we may be tempted to withdraw from others, to isolate ourselves. However, justice reminds us of the importance of our human connections. Strengthening this virtue helps us maintain healthy and meaningful relationships, offering and receiving mutual support. Temperance, or moderation, is the virtue that teaches us balance. Seneca warns us, "Sometimes even to live is an act of courage." Temperance helps us find this balance in our lives, avoiding excesses that can lead to sadness and depression. Strengthening temperance means cultivating healthy and balanced habits that support our physical and emotional well-being. By strengthening these virtues, we create a solid foundation to face sadness and depression. Wisdom gives us the clarity to see things as they are. Courage gives us the strength to face our fears. Justice connects us to others and keeps us upright. Temperance helps us maintain balance in our lives. Together, these virtues empower us to live with resilience and dignity. To strengthen these virtues, constant practice is necessary. Meditate daily on each of them, reflecting on how they can be applied in your life. Face small and large challenges with wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Over time, these virtues will become part of your nature, a second skin that protects and strengthens you. Remember the words of Marcus Aurelius: "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." By cultivating virtues, you dye your soul with colors of strength, clarity, and peace. These virtuous thoughts transform your perception of reality, allowing you to see beauty and purpose, even in moments of darkness. Virtues are not just abstract concepts. They are daily practices that shape our character and our life. By strengthening virtues, we transform sadness and depression into opportunities for personal growth. Every challenge becomes a training ground for our virtues, every adversity a chance to demonstrate our inner strength. Epictetus teaches us that prosperity is not in having many things, but in having few needs. Strengthening virtues teaches us to focus on what truly matters, to live a life of meaning and purpose rather than chasing fleeting pleasures. This shift in focus helps us find lasting satisfaction that transcends external circumstances. Number 5. Redefining success and failure. Sadness and depression often arise from a distorted perception of success and failure. We live in a society that values external achievements and measures our worth through material accomplishments and social recognition. However, ancient philosophers teach us that true success and failure are not determined by external factors, but by the internal state of our mind and spirit. Epictetus reminds us, "Do not aspire to be the best, aspire to be better than you were yesterday." This is the essence of true success. It is not about surpassing others, but about surpassing yourself. Each day is an opportunity to grow, learn, and improve. This perspective frees us from external comparisons and allows us to focus on our own path of personal development. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Redefining success means cultivating thoughts that promote peace, resilience, and gratitude. Success is not a finish line, but a state of being. It is the tranquility that comes from knowing you are doing your best, regardless of the outcome. Failure, on the other hand, is not the end of the road, but a detour that offers valuable lessons. Seneca teaches us, "The man who suffers more is the one who does not accept failure." Accepting failure as part of the growth process allows us to extract wisdom from each experience. Every obstacle overcome, every mistake made, strengthens us and brings us closer to true mastery. The redefinition of success and failure begins with introspection. Ask yourself, what really matters to me? What do I deeply value? By aligning your actions with your highest values, you find a sense of purpose that transcends superficial definitions of success. This inner purpose is the foundation of a full and meaningful life. When facing sadness and depression, it is crucial to remember that our greatest challenges are opportunities in disguise. Each moment of darkness is a chance to redefine our vision of ourselves and the world around us. By embracing impermanence and imperfection, we find a strength that cannot be shaken by external circumstances. The practice of gratitude is a powerful tool on this journey. By recognizing and valuing the small daily blessings, we shift our focus from what is lacking to what we have. This simple act of gratitude transforms our perception of success, making us more aware of the intangible riches of life. Epictetus advises us to seek excellence, not perfection. This distinction is fundamental. The pursuit of perfection is a trap that leads to frustration and despair. Excellence, on the other hand, is a commitment to continuous progress and personal improvement. By redefining success in this way, we free ourselves from unrealistic expectations and embrace our unique journey with acceptance and enthusiasm. Redefining success and failure also involves the practice of self-compassion. Be gentle with your failures and celebrate your small victories. Remember that each step, no matter how small, is progress toward your goal. This compassionate attitude nurtures your soul and strengthens your emotional resilience. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. By cultivating thoughts of acceptance, gratitude, and continuous progress, we transform our perception of success and failure. These virtuous thoughts protect us against sadness and depression, creating a solid foundation for inner peace. By redefining success and failure, we become architects of our own happiness. We do not allow the external world to dictate our worth or emotional state. Instead, we find a center of strength and serenity within ourselves. This center is unshakable because it is built on the solid foundation of virtues and inner wisdom. Number 6. Finding purpose amidst adversity. Adversity is an inescapable constant of life. Moments of sadness and depression often envelop us in a darkness that seems impenetrable. However, it is precisely in these moments that we can find deep and meaningful purpose. The challenge lies in transforming adversity into a source of strength and clarity, an opportunity to discover a purpose that transcends temporal difficulties. Epictetus teaches us, "Circumstances do not make the man, they only reveal him to himself." Adversity is a mirror that reflects our true essence. In times of pain and suffering, we are confronted with the opportunity to discover who we truly are and what we truly value. This self-reflection is the first step to finding purpose amidst adversity. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. In moments of darkness, we must cultivate thoughts that bring light." Ask yourself, what can I learn from this experience? How can I grow from it? Adversity, when faced with courage and wisdom, reveals opportunities for personal and spiritual growth. Finding purpose amidst adversity involves a deep reassessment of our values and priorities. Often, it is in the most difficult situations that we become most aware of what truly matters. Relationships, integrity, compassion, these are the virtues that emerge as beacons in the storm. By focusing on what is truly significant, we find a purpose that guides us through the darkness. Seneca reminds us, "Life, if well lived, is long enough." Purpose is not a distant goal, but a path we tread daily. Even in small actions we can find meaning. A gesture of kindness, a moment of contemplative silence, a word of encouragement, each of these acts can be an expression of our deepest purpose. The practice of gratitude is a powerful tool for finding purpose amidst adversity. By recognizing and valuing the small blessings in our lives, we shift our focus from what is lacking to what we have. This simple act of gratitude transforms our perception of reality, allowing us to see adversity not as a barrier, but as a bridge to a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. Epictetus advises us, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react that matters." Our reactions to adversity define our trajectory. By choosing to respond with resilience, courage, and wisdom, we transform challenges into opportunities for growth. This conscious choice empowers us, giving us the strength to navigate life's storms with dignity and purpose. Adversity also offers us the opportunity for connection and empathy. When we face difficulties, we become more aware of the struggles of others. This awareness invites us to act with compassion, to reach out to those who are also suffering. This human interconnectedness is a profound source of purpose, as it reminds us that we are not alone in our journey. The search for purpose amidst adversity is a continuous practice of self-discovery and transformation. Each challenge is a chance to deepen our understanding of ourselves and our place in the world. By embracing this practice, we find an inner strength that allows us to face any adversity with serenity and clarity. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. By cultivating thoughts of purpose and meaning, we transform our internal and external reality. We find joy even in difficulties, knowing that each moment is an opportunity to live according to our deepest values. Number 7. Physical exercise and mental health. In the struggle against sadness and depression, we often underestimate the power of the body over the mind. However, ancient wisdom teaches us that the mind and body are inextricably linked. Physical exercise is not only a means of strengthening the body, but also a path to strengthening the mind and spirit. Epictetus reminds us, life is a continuous exercise. The movement of the body is a metaphor for the movement of the soul. When we engage in physical activities, we are not only working our muscles but also our capacity for resilience and determination. Exercise is a form of training to face life's adversities with strength and clarity. Physical exercise releases endorphins, natural chemicals that elevate our mood and provide a sense of well-being. This biological benefit is a gift from nature, a way to balance our emotions through movement. When we feel down, physical activity can be a powerful tool to restore our vitality and joy. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "What is good for the hive is good for the bee." The well-being of the body contributes to the well-being of the mind. By taking care of our physical health, we are actually taking care of our mental health. Regular exercise helps reduce stress and anxiety levels, providing a natural relief against depression. The practice of physical exercise also teaches us discipline and self-control, essential virtues for overcoming sadness and depression. Each workout session is an opportunity to strengthen our willpower and perseverance. By facing and overcoming physical challenges, we prepare ourselves to face emotional challenges with the same determination. Seneca advises us, "Sometimes what we need is a change of perspective." Outdoor exercise, for example, connects us with nature, providing a new view of the world around us. This connection with the natural environment can be profoundly restorative, helping us find peace and balance amidst chaos. Physical exercise also promotes self-esteem. Each goal achieved, each improvement in performance, reinforces our confidence in our abilities. This sense of accomplishment translates into a more positive mental state, driving away the negative thoughts that fuel sadness and depression. Epictetus teaches us that it is not things that disturb us, but our view of them. Physical exercise allows us to change our view of ourselves, from passive victims of circumstances to active agents of our own transformation. By moving our bodies, we move our minds toward a state of greater clarity and serenity. The regular practice of physical exercise can also create a structured routine, providing a sense of stability and order in our lives. This structure can be particularly useful in times of uncertainty, providing a safe anchor to hold on to. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. By engaging in physical activities, we cultivate thoughts of strength, resilience, and optimism. These positive thoughts have the power to transform our internal reality, helping us overcome sadness and depression with a clear mind and a strong heart. The practice of physical exercise should be seen not as an obligation, but as an opportunity for personal growth and spiritual renewal. Each movement, each breath is an affirmation of life and our commitment to our well-being. By dedicating ourselves to this practice, we find a path to true inner peace. Number 8, the art of self-reflection. In the silence of our mind, we find the necessary space to face sadness and depression. The art of self-reflection is a profound and transformative path to understanding our emotions, finding clarity, and cultivating inner peace. This practice, rooted in ancient wisdom, teaches us to observe our thoughts and actions with a critical and compassionate lens. Epictetus reminds us, "What really matters is not what happens to you, but how you react to it." Self-reflection is the practice of examining our reactions, understanding why we feel what we feel, and how we can respond more wisely and balanced. By reflecting on our experiences, we gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and our motivations. Marcus Aurelius in his Meditations wrote, "Look within. Within is the fountain of good, and it will ever bubble up, if you will ever dig." This constant introspection is essential to overcome sadness and depression. When we look within, we find the roots of our anguish and the seeds of our healing. Self-reflection allows us to access this inner source of strength and resilience. The practice of self-reflection begins with honesty. We must be truthful with ourselves about our feelings and thoughts. Ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? What is really causing my sadness? This honest self-analysis is the first step to unraveling the layers of emotions that envelop us and freeing ourselves from the chains of depression. Seneca teaches us, withdraw into yourself as much as possible. Self-reflection is a mental retreat, a space where we can distance ourselves from external distractions and focus on our inner reality. This retreat gives us the opportunity to reassess our priorities, redefine our goals, and realign our actions with our deepest values. Regular practice of self-reflection helps us identify negative thought patterns and self-destructive behaviors. By recognizing these patterns, we can begin to replace them with more constructive thoughts and actions. This transformation does not happen overnight, but through a continuous commitment to self-analysis and personal growth. Epictetus advises, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Self-reflection allows us to visualize who we want to become and gives us the focus to take the necessary steps to achieve this goal. This clear vision of our potential future is a powerful antidote to hopelessness and despair. The practice of gratitude is a fundamental part of self-reflection. By reflecting on our blessings, even in times of difficulty, we shift our focus from what is lacking to what we have. This shift in perspective nourishes our spirit and helps us find joy in small things. Gratitude transforms the way we see the world and gives us the strength to face adversity with an open heart. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. By cultivating thoughts of gratitude, acceptance, and growth, we transform our internal reality. Self-reflection allows us to select and nurture these positive thoughts, creating a mental garden where peace and serenity can flourish. Self-reflection also connects us with our own humanity and vulnerability. Recognizing our weaknesses is not a sign of weakness but a necessary step to true strength. This self-acceptance gives us the courage to face our shadows and the compassion to forgive ourselves and others. The practice of self-reflection teaches us that true peace and happiness do not depend on external circumstances, but on the state of our mind and heart. By cultivating a regular practice of introspection, we find a center of calm that remains unshaken, regardless of external storms. This center is the source of our resilience and the foundation of our healing.